rare disease. Half of those people are children. My daughter Kaylee is one of them. She was diagnosed with a neurodevelopmental condition called SYNGAP1 6 years ago. Learning how to parent a child with a rare disease changed our world in ways that we could have never imagined. Up until now, I've chosen to keep this part of my life mostly separate from my life here at CNBC, but that changes today. I sat down with my husband and CNBC colleague, senior executive producer Matt Quayle, to tell you our story, starting from our first shock at Kaylee's initial diagnosis.
And then you start to peel back and worry about what might not happen for her. And I remember at first thinking, okay, being mad when he said maybe she's not going to be a Fortune 500 CEO. And then thinking, if we could just get her to college, that would be great. And then thinking, well, she doesn't have to go to college. If she can just find something that she loves doing. And then you start rolling it back, and it's like, if she can just walk, if she can just talk, if she can just find a friend.
I want to say it was the first birthday party. It felt like a wake. There was something so wrong with it. And we knew we were trying to be happy, and we were trying to celebrate it. Happy birthday to you. But she couldn't blow out the candle, right? Like that, we weren't there yet. And she wasn't able to do that, so we kind of faked it because we wanted to make it feel like it was normal. And it wasn't normal, and we knew it.
Fast forward to when we got the diagnosis, it was just before Kaylee turned 3. Right? It was September of 2019, and so it's just before Kaylee turned 3 and just before COVID.
I remember where we were. It's like one of those moments you know exactly where you were. We were driving on 9W. We got the phone call. We pulled over into an office building right by CNBC's headquarters, and we pulled into the back parking lot. Still know, every time I drive by that building, that's the first thing I think about, is sitting in that parking lot, crying. But at least there was an answer, a little bit. But the answer was not very clear because it was we didn't know what SYNGAP was. Nobody knew what SYNGAP was.
And our neurologist didn't know what it was. Had to look it up and said, you'll probably know more about this. It was a Friday. You'll probably know more about this by the end of the weekend than we do.
Yeah, she went into immediate, reporter mode. Immediate. Like she was calling, she was researching, she got people on the phone, she's getting doctors on the phone. We're gathering an awful lot of information because at least finally we have some kind of direction.
SYNGAP is a protein that your brain needs for its development. Kaylee has one good functioning SYNGAP gene and one that is not functioning. And so she has about half the protein she needs of the SYNGAP protein for brain development. Kids who have SYNGAP, most of them have autism. Virtually all of them have seizures. They have developmental delays.
Oh, yeah.
There are behaviors that are associated with it. And intellectual disability. That's what SYNGAP is.
Ring around the roses.
Because of the lack of protein, the only way that any of us can learn, right, is for that electronic signal to go from one side of the brain to the other, and then it implants in your brain, and that's the memory. And because she only has half the protein, right, only half the amount of signals go through, so her memory, she can't build memories the way other kids can build memories. So as a result, you can't learn. You learn everything based on memories. She does, but it's at a much slower pace.
But it just takes repetition. It takes a lot of repetition.
6, good job.
Kaylee also has apraxia, which means she understands so much. She understands exactly what's happening. She can't always make her body do what she wants to do. She can't always make the words come out the way she wants the words to come out. Yeah. She can't make sounds come out necessarily the way she wants them to come out because there's rewiring in the brain.
Can I get a kiss with you?
So why tell this story now? Well, because we've learned so much about rare disease. Most importantly, that rare isn't actually all that rare at all. There are 30 million Americans living with a rare disease and as many as 400 million people around the globe. And there's a lot that we can learn from each other. We are really proud of the CNBC Cures initiative, and we're working on several ways to try and get the word out. For more about Kaylee, please check out our new podcast series. It's the first episode of The Path with Becky Quick. It's out right now wherever you listen to your podcasts, and it will be on YouTube as well. I'll be talking to doctors, innovators, and parents just like me and Matt, all of us trying to connect the dots to lead to better treatments or potential cures. I hope you listen and share the podcast. And join this conversation. You can sign up for the CNBC Cures newsletter. That will be out weekly. You'll get all the latest news and compelling stories of innovation right in your inbox. And we're announcing a live in-person event in New York City, March 3rd. It's a first-of-its-kind gathering of all the key players in rare diseases. I hope that we can do some good together. You can go to cnbcevents.com/cures to register.
So how many people suffer from rare diseases?
It's 30 million people in America,
30 million.
300 to 400 million people around the globe.
How much is neurological? Are we covering everything?
We're covering everything. Yeah, these are not just neurological diseases.
It's
This
like
is not just
cystic
people
fibrosis or something.
cystic
What is
fibrosis is
so that's not rare?
No.
What does it take to be rare?
To be rare, it's different in different countries, recognize it differently, but you're probably talking about 20,000 or less that have this disease. The situation, though, is that often rare diseases, like for Kaylee's disease, there's only 1,700 people who have SYNGAP1. For these small patient populations, they often get overlooked. There's just not enough of a total addressable market. Those are the phrases we use on CNBC for it to make sense for companies to spend a lot of money doing this. However, if we can find some of the new therapies that are coming out and new scientific discoveries that are coming out that branch out and meet several of these different types of neurological diseases or other diseases that are out there, you might be able to get some bang for your buck.
It's not all genetic.
No, but I think
Is it?
80% turns out to be genetically that come about from it. Right. Others can come from
something later,
stress. They can
metabolically,
come from
something that could be wrong.
Down the line.
Or cancer. What about
Kaylee's disease is genetic.
Is genetic. What about rare cancers? Would that be covered?
I don't know if that's part of the 10,000 that's there, but I will tell you, we're hoping to branch out from just the rare genetic diseases and rare diseases that make up these 10,000 diseases. Autism is a big part that is pretty common in a lot of these areas. And part of what we're trying to do with the path is to reach out to families who are dealing with all of these types of things. And it's a very lonely path that you're walking. That's what it feels like when you're on it.
A database would be great, too, to have everyone, and we can do that now in terms of genotypes instead of just...
And we're getting better at diagnosis. These genetic tests used to cost thousands and thousands of dollars. The cost is coming down. There are states and cities where they are working to try and offer genetic testing to newborns and getting insurers to pay for those things. When Kaylee was first diagnosed, there were fewer than 1,000 people who had SYNGAP. It's just over 1,700 today, but we think it's a much, much larger population. And when you can identify it, first of all, you have a community you can live within and learn from. And second of all, you can really work towards potential therapies.
That's the thing I think is amazing about this, because you can already see it online, even in the past hour or two, just the amount of people.
Right.
I mean, I told you before just how sort of courageous and brave I feel you are putting this out there.
Thank you.
It's a pretty amazing thing, and I think it's going to connect a lot of people.
I certainly hope so. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.
When we come back, a lot more on Squawk Box. We'll talk jobless claims. We also got trade deficit figures, the numbers, market reaction, and a lot more when we come back.